Big moves. The 76ers are offering All-Star Ben Simmons a 5-year, $170 million max extension. Both sides are working through contract details toward an eventual agreement. Our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski, on why the deal makes sense.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, Ben Simmons is a player you're going to offer a max deal to right when he's eligible for it. He and Rich Paul, his agent, will get this done here in the near future. And now Philadelphia will have its core locked up. Joel Embiid's locked up for long term. And then obviously Al Horford and Tobias Harris, who are signing extensions and new deals with them here. And now you have your core. And then, if you want to move pieces around down the road, if you don't like the makeup of your team, well, you need to have your players under contract long term for them to have value in moving them. But Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, those are the centerpieces of this Sixer organization, and then they fit everybody else around them.
So in his first 2 seasons, Simmons won Rookie of the Year, made an All-Star team, and increased his production from year 1 to year 2. But one part of his game that will have to be answered for is his shooting, as Simmons most notably has not made a three-pointer since entering the league. For more, let's get you back to First Take.
Tony, thank you kindly. Philly, they're not playing around, making sure Ben Simmons stays put. But Max, let me ask you this. Do you feel like he deserves max dollars?
Nope. If I had a team, I would give it to him because that's the economic
calling
structure.
You max dollars.
There you go.
So fitting.
Max contract. The economics of basketball are such that if I owned a team, I would give it to him. I anticipate eventually he will be worth that money. I hope things work out. But at this moment, is he worth the money? Steven, I'm not talking about what the market bears. I'm talking about, is he worth it? No. And here's the thing. It's not right to say he got more productive in his second season. He didn't, and that's what troubles me about Simmons. I look at PER because it takes into account points, rebounds, and there's a formula that shows you really how efficient and how good someone is on offense mostly. It's not very good for defense, but it's a very good shorthand, note for offense measure for offense the way QBR is for a quarterback, right? Not perfect, but it's good shorthand. He had a 20 PER on the nose as a rookie. As a 21-year-old rookie, that's just about all-star level. You know what his PER was last year? 20 on the nose, 20.0 again. There was a stagnation in terms of his development. And the reason I say he and Embiid aren't best on the same team is you look at what happened to the Greek Freak, how they designed that team around him. They cleared out the middle and just put shooters everywhere so he could go downhill, and you either have to double him and he kicks it to an open man or he bangs it on you. Simmons is similar with much better handles, but a great passer, lightning fast, can take it to the rack and do all these things on offense, but he can't shoot at all. And the problem with the way the Sixers are constructed right now, as much talent as they have, Stephen A., is in the playoffs, what happens? Simmons becomes a power forward. They put him in the dunker spot. That's the best way to use him there. So is he worth max money at this moment? Not in the future. Right now, I cannot say that he is.
I can say he is. I can say he is because I'm not just thinking about your potential. The kid is going to be 23 July 20th. He's the first overall pick from the 2016 NBA draft. And this dude, in the 2 full seasons that he played, because he missed his first full year, this past season, he averaged 16.9 points, 8.8 rebounds, 7.7 assists. By the way, on 56% shooting from the field. Now, he missed all 6 of his three-point shots. He's missed all 17 of his three-point shots in his career that he's attempted. He only shot 60% from the free throw line. This is a problem. He's got to shoot. If this dude, and don't get me wrong, he needs to work on the jump shot, and I'm told by Rich Paul and Clutch Sports that he is working out very, very hard, which was not the case last year. But it's something that I want to remind you, and nobody's willing to admit this. This is just me. I'm making this assertion. Ben Simmons was such an awful shooter, and is such an awful shooter. It wasn't that he was lazy last year. He didn't want nobody to watch him. You ever come across somebody that's just so god awful at a particular trait? They don't want anybody to see them. You just don't want anybody to see you performing it. He didn't want anybody in the gym watching him shoot because that's how awful he's been.
That's an interesting theory.
That's exactly what I believe, and it's something that he has to overcome.
I'm signing up for that.
Yeah, that's what I believe. Based on him, because people came to him last year, want to work. He said, "All right, I'll give you an hour." This is what he was saying to people.
He's
that
embarrassed.
the Sixers sent. There's only one reason you would do that, and that's because you're embarrassed by it, because that's what he did with the Sixers last year. That's not the case right now, which is a testament to him. I have a problem with his ability to shoot, period. Nothing else. He defends, he's long, his footwork, his passing and ball handling skills. No, he's not Magic, he's not LeBron or anything like that. But the brother is something special. At 6'10", and without a shot, this is what he's been able to do. And you also have to remember who you're talking to here, or you're listening to. I am a guy that covered the 76ers every day for 10 years. I saw Larry Brown and Billy King and Pat Croce surround Allen Iverson with dudes who couldn't shoot. That doesn't mean they didn't have value. And the fact of the matter is, when you're looking at the game of basketball and you think about the multitude of components that contribute to one's success on the basketball court, I understand that Ben Simmons cannot shoot. I am telling you that is the only thing that he can't do.
By the way,
so when I look at that, I look at his size, his athleticism, what he is in the open court, his ability to finish at the basket. Shoots 56% from the field now.
No, he doesn't.
When you look, I'm just saying.
56% shoots? No, he dunks 50%.
That's fine.
What does he shoot?
Listen, I can say the same thing about the Greek Freak to a lesser degree. He finishes at the basket. He dunks on you. I'm just saying. The point is, 56% of his shots, in the interior, he finishes. All I'm saying is, when you take that into account, his skill set, his upside, and at 6'10" for crying out loud, and he's turning 23 this month, please, I'm locking that brother in. With 5 years, $170 million. By the way, they obviously got clauses in there. They want to make sure that's why they didn't just sign this, just announce that this is already done. But I'm telling you, he's worth this, and I would pay him without hesitation.
First of all, I love your theory about him being embarrassed to even practice something that he's so bad at he doesn't want anyone to see.
Right.
I like to think that much more than he doesn't have a work ethic or an internal motor.
No.
Because I disagree with you that he's not Magic or LeBron. I think he is, minus the shooting. But Stephen A., it's not just an issue with shooting the way it was with the Greek Freak. The Greek Freak, if you walk away from him, he will shoot it. I mean, he'll nail threes. He'll hit jump shots. He will. Ben Simmons
not in the postseason, but go ahead.
Yeah, he was hitting threes.
Not when he went against the Raptors. Not when he had to stop the Raptors from winning 4 straight, but go ahead.
But the point, right, he had Kawhi on him. The point is, Ben Simmons won't even take a shot. Like, shoot a 15-footer. Just shoot at some point. So it's not just like the Greek Freak. The other thing is, he did not make any advances that I could see between his rookie and second season. He was the same exact player to me. But I do disagree with you that he's not Magic or LeBron. I think his skill sets in the open floor, I think he has better handles than LeBron. I think he's every bit the passer LeBron is. He's like a Magic LeBron, just about level passer.
I'm not disagreeing.
He's lightning fast. He's aggressive.
I'm just saying shooting comes along with the territory. And the fact of the matter is, when needed, they can make perimeter shots. This brother won't even attempt it.
That's why I'm saying at this moment, he's not worth the max.
But to me, that doesn't disqualify him from being a max player, particularly when that max is 170 as opposed to 220. Now, if it was 220 million, that's a $50 million difference. I get your point. But for $170 million in today's NBA market, Ben Simmons is worth every penny. This is what he brings to the table,
The other reason the other reason by now in his career I would think, he would have been farther along is he missed that first season. So usually what a team will do is lock a guy up after their third season in the league. They give him that max rookie extension. And that takes you until year 7. So if you don't want to be in the market, year 6, you start hearing them saying, hey, trade me, or I'm going to sign somewhere else. The problem is Ben Simmons missed his first season. So he's only had the 2 seasons. And I haven't seen improvement from season 1 to season 2. I would give him the same contract. That's not the question. Is he worth it? Right now, not talking about later on, right now, he's not. Can't shoot.
Let me tell you something. One of the things that and people are not bringing this up enough, but listen, I'm very, very fond of Brett Brown as a person. I think he's a good man, and I think that he went through a lot in Philadelphia before. You know, he had to endure a lot because of that process nonsense. Don't get me started with it. At the end of the day, you look at Brett Brown and that coaching staff. They gotta handle their business here. Just like they modified things with Joel Embiid and made him more of a force last season compared to the season before. Now they gotta lock in on Ben Simmons and demanding more of him, especially since you lost J.J. Redick. Especially because Josh Richardson is a defender. Yep. He can score a little bit, but he's not a shooter. J.J. Redick is a sniper, and that sort of offset whatever Ben Simmons was lacking on the perimeter, not just because of J.J. Redick's ability to shoot, but to move without the basketball. Now, Ben Simmons is going to have to step it up.
Let's wrap it up, party people. We have a lot more to get to. Do not go anywhere because Stephen A. is about to tell you why Russ and KD may not be the best of friends anymore. We've got some